go ahead and repeat some of that. Welcome everybody to our Wow Wednesday. I've got Dr. Sheila here with me too today. She's going to have her camera off, but um, she is here with us. Starting June 1st, I'm just going to kind of do a few announcements, but starting June 1st, we're going to go ahead and extend this call to an hour prior to the Solex update call. So it'll start at 6:30 Central Standard Time, 5:30 Mountain Time, 7:30 Eastern Time, and then probably 4:30 Pacific Time, if I have all those times right. Um, so we'll extend it because our call is growing, and the purpose of this call, you guys, is those of us that have the AO scanner or any of the products. It doesn't even have to be the AO scanner, but if you have the 660 band, if you use the inner illuminator, or you use any of our supplements and you just love them, we would love for you to share your testimonials about those items, and then also invite your interested ones to this call because they need to hear what this technology is about and what we're doing. We are making a massive movement with the future of medicine, which happens to be frequencies. So this is so exciting, you guys. I just can't even contain my excitement when I think about the beautiful company that we're all involved in, and everybody on this call that is using the AO scanner and just loving it. Thank you, and please share your stories. I'm going to go ahead and allow anybody that would like to just share any testimonials that they have. So if you want to share something, please just unmute yourself. I'm going to go ahead and say the disclaimer, and then if you want to just pop in after I'm done with the disclaimer, please do so. So the disclaimer is that the AO scan technology is not a medical device. It's not a diagnostic device. The statements that we share here have not been evaluated by the FDA. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or mitigate any disease. And if you are sick, please consult with your healthcare professional. So without further ado, I'm going to open the call up and just let anybody that would love to share any testimonies. They can be small or big. So feel free, unmute yourself, and let's go.
Tammy, it's Alice. I had a beautiful, beautiful testimony today from my new preferred customer who just signed up. Their family went through a loss, and her daughter commented on her husband's demeanor throughout the whole ordeal. It was his mother that passed, and the daughter was just astonished at how calm and peaceful he was throughout the entire funeral, at the visitation. And she said he's not been like that at any other loss. So there was a definite knowing that it was a lot to do with the scans, the playlists, excuse me, that were being run. So just a beautiful testimony.
That's awesome. I hate the loss part, but
Yes.
what an amazing thing that we have that we can assist those if they are transitioning, if I understood that right. So
Right. Well, transitioning, but then his, I helped with the transition of the loss, but then also the mourning and grieving process
yeah,
was so peaceful and
yeah.
still is. They're doing so well, and that
That's
just thrills my soul.
yeah. I'll share something real quickly about my recent grief, and I've had several people that have said, Tammy, you moved through that really quickly. It's because of my scanner, but it's also because I had other people helping me. So I went and saw different practitioners to help me through body and emotion code. I also did some other work, but I'm telling you, when you support your body with the Cephis and scanning and optimizing, it makes things so much more doable. I mean, I am just amazed. I mean, I still, like today I sent some pictures of piggy britches to somebody that's going to do a painting for her, and looking at those pictures I cried, but it wasn't this grief that just paralyzes you. So beautiful. Thank
Exactly.
you. Thank you,
And
Alice.
that is something that I noticed was doing the body code along with it. The body code becomes so much simpler.
It does.
It's like this cleans house, and we're just putting the finishing touches on now rather than having to do the whole spring cleaning with the body code. I'm
Yeah.
just ecstatic.
Isn't that neat? That is so cool. And you're a body code practitioner, correct?
I am, have been for
See,
years.
yeah. I'm not that practitioner, but I just so admire you guys.
Thank you.
Thank you for the work that you do. Anybody else
Absolutely.
like to share?
Just adding on to what Alice shared, that is awesome. And that's what I'm finding too, is if I will start with just inner voice when my patients come into the clinic, it makes the rest of the appointment go so much better. They're much more receptive. So it's exactly like she said, we're just cleaning things up, releasing things that are keeping us stuck so that we can now better receive what we need. So I'm so grateful for that.
Me too. Gosh, we have such an incredible tool. All right. Just feel free to unmute and share.
I am going to mention my 660 band was not charged for a few days, and I could not figure out why I had been dragging so badly. So I finally charged it back up this morning. Man, it makes a big difference.
It really does. I love mine too. And I keep mine in my office, and if I don't take it out with me when I'm doing my scanning, because we typically do our scanning outside on the deck with the girls, and I forgot it this morning. It's sitting in my cubby hole. So yeah, I need to do that too. It's an amazing product.
It is.
Can I ask a question, please?
Sure.
Because I'm only new. I've only really had my band and my scanner for about a week, but going through the trainings, I put my band on my wrist yesterday and left it on for 20 minutes, and whoa, it got so hot.
Yeah.
Is that's normal?
It is normal. I mean, now if it's so hot that it leaves a mark on you, that might be not normal, and you might want to let Solex know. But yeah, I mean, I noticed that mine gets really warm too. Now, I did have a lady that she showed a picture where it was red, her skin was red. And then I asked her, I said, did it go away or did it stay? She said, no, it kind of went away after a little bit. And I'm like, okay, but if it leaves a mark for a long time, I think that Solex should know about that.
Yeah, no, it wasn't that bad. As soon as I took it off, it went, and I thought, think I need some work.
Yeah.
But yeah, so thank you. I was just checking. Thanks,
Yeah.
Tammy.
Thank you. Thank you. Anybody else like
One
to
more question. Can you then swap because each arm is different? One's lungs and one's. So can you swap over and use both at the same? Once you've done 20 on one, 20 on
uh-huh.
the other as well.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
on the same day.
I even do it on my ankles because my ankles I have some varicose veins and I know that's heavy metal deposits I need to get out and I'm working on that too. But yeah, most definitely.
We've
Awesome.
even
Thank you
had
so
some
much.
people report putting it on the back of their neck to relieve headaches.
That too. And then Vicky Kaiser, who is actually on our call, I think it's Vicky, but she posted some extensions that you can buy if you want to wear them around your ankles. So that's in the group. If you need me to tag you or anything or whatever, we can tag you or I can put it in the chat, whatever.
Fantastic. Thank you. Thank you so
You're
much.
welcome. You're
Great
welcome.
platform to come and learn. I love it. Thank you, everybody.
Guy wraps two of them around his knee.
Yeah. Yeah. I haven't tried that on my knee yet. I mean, I've laid it on my knee, but I haven't really thought about, wow, that'd be a good could use like maybe rubber bands to connect or
Oh,
something. I
yeah.
don't know. Might be worth a try. Now the inner, I'll tell you, I haven't been using my inner illuminator because it wasn't charged up either, and we got it charged back up, and I did it again this morning. And do you know it that makes a total difference too when you're doing it on the eyes. And something I was talking to Scott is that I noticed when I first put it on my eyes, the light looks red, but the longer as it goes, it turns green. And I'm like, I wonder what that's all about. But I can tell my vision is getting it's changing. And I feel like it's better. So we'll know as time goes by. I told y'all that when I went to the doctor last time, and that was before I just started the inner illuminator on my eyes. like 2 or 3 weeks prior to going to the eye doctor, she retested me and she goes, well, you don't need a contact in your right eye. You just need one in your left eye. I was wearing contacts in both eyes, guys. So that to me, and she said, that's a great improvement. Whatever it is, and I didn't share with her, but she knows that I'm woo woo. I've shared a few things, but she's just like, whatever it is that you're doing, Tammy, just keep it up. I'm like, okay, doc, I will.
Well, I have been wanting to ask what people are experiencing in terms of colors, because when I first start, I've got, well, reds that turn to orange and then yellow, and then we go into blues and greens. And yeah, I'm wondering if other people are experiencing that too. It's very wild.
It is. I get red, and then I get orange, and then I get green. So those are
So
the three colors that I get.
I can tell you that when I started not looking, but with my eyes closed facing the sun to reset the vitamin D intake in my thyroid and my glands in the brain, when I started that, it took probably 45 minutes, and it would start really dark, then it would go to bright white, then it would go through the color spectrum, and when it was finished, I knew I was done. Now that happens within probably no more than 5 or 10 minutes. When I face the sun with my eyes closed, I will go through those color spectrums, and to me it's like a reset. It's resetting something within us when it happens.
Well, it makes
Awesome.
sense.
May I ask what the inner illuminator? Are you talking the glasses?
No, let me show you. Let me share my screen. It's on our deal here. It is
Oh, thank you.
it is this little device down here, and you can get it in your back. Can you see my screen okay? See down here in the corner?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That is the inner illuminator, and it's a red light therapy as well, and it does 2-minute increments on, I think there's
Yes.
3 or 4.
I've seen that. Okay.
And
Beautiful.
you can actually visibly look at breast tissue with this in a darkened room. That's what it was brought out for. But we have found since last day of discovery, they've explained to us that we could actually hold it like a craft tube, and then directly look at the laser with your eye. But you've got to look through a craft tube, and you only need to do that either 2 minutes once a week on both eyes, or you can do it 1 minute 3 times a week. But that's it. You don't want to do it every day because you're messing with the glands in your brain too. And I have a graphic on that. I'll send it to you.
And people use it on painful joints.
Yes.
Thank you. I just took a photo of that. Thank you, Tammy. Right.
Yes,
Lots to
you're very
learn.
we can share lots of things with you. Okay. Anybody else have any testimonials that they want to share or
I
anything?
will share a couple testimonials.
Let's go.
One of them, I'm just so excited. I've shared something similar before, but I'm just so excited about using inner voice and Cephies with my daughter, because she's 16 and it is very hard for me to get her to take any kinds of supplements. She was really good when she was younger, and then she fell off. I can't get her to swallow pills, so I tried to get her to do sprays. Can't get her to half do the sprays. I can't get her to half do the gummies. So I'm like, okay. So inner voice, she came into my room the other night, and 2 nights ago. She's got finals, just finished today. But you could just see the trepidation. She looked like she was on the verge of tears. I started to ask her, what's wrong? And she was like, I just don't feel good. And I haven't felt good for several days. I'm just anxious about these tests. And you could see it, all in her body. And so I said, well, let's do some new tones for you. And she's like, oh, I don't feel like doing it right now. I said, it's only 10 seconds. Let's do it. So we did inner voice. And while she was sitting there, we're talking, and I just turned it on out loud while she was sitting there. I sent her email and told her to listen to them, before bed and in the morning before she went to school. But literally, as we're sitting there, I saw the shift almost immediately, and it just lifted. And we started talking. She started laughing and talking to the dog. The next morning, she was fine, went to school, felt good about her test. And I mean, it's just like a whole different child. So,
and Mama didn't mention a thing, right? Because
what's that?
Mama didn't mention a thing or comment on that, did you?
No, of course not. So so that's been great. And then I did a playlist for her. I ran that night, and it was I think I called it ease before the test or something like that. So that was good. And then the other thing is I've been setting up my back patio with flowers, and I've got some speakers out there and some new lights. And I am usually a mosquito magnet. Every single mosquito and every no-see-um that we have in Georgia gets me. And I have not gotten a single mosquito bite.
Oh
I've
my
been
gosh.
outside every day for like a week. So it's been amazing.
Oh,
I know, it's
That in
amazing.
and of itself is
That
worth
was
the
what
price.
Yeah, that was one of the first things I did at Solex. We were at the Theta House, and we were having a gathering after the day of discovery. And one of the members there were like, "God, the skeeters are biting me alive," and I'm like, "Well, we got the best technology." So I just set everything up, put it in spaces,
I
and
heard you say that.
yeah,
And that's
and
why
I
I
set
did
it down,
it.
and nobody was bitten that night.
And it was amazing. And I
Yeah,
didn't even know what I was doing because I didn't even see your playlist. I'm just like, okay, let me put some of this in here, some of that in there. And then the last thing is that this week I've gotten really consistent with the quick scans. And I love the fact that we can do that general category, which is all of the homeopathics and the materia medica and all the cell salts and all of that. And when it comes up what you need, I just put a little shot glass of water right on there and just imprint them and take them. So I'm doing that 3 times a day. And it's just been amazing. So.
oh, that's awesome.
she did a cute little video on that too to share, and that was
Oh,
awesome.
Yep.
nice.
So even people that don't have their supplements scanned in, you can scan through all those homeopathics and you can imprint them right then and there. And it's just
Yep.
a 20-second imprint on each one, and then you're done. I love
Yep.
it.
Yep. I'll share something with you guys that I did yesterday with my mom. My mom has a spot on her back, and I know that I've got to do some work with her because I think she's fallen off a little bit. But um, we went ahead and ordered some bloodroot salve because the spot on her back keeps bleeding, and it's a spot, let me just tell you. So there was a couple of different companies. So what I did, guys, and this may help you out, even if you don't know which one you should use, put the product in and put it under a category and just scan that in your quick scan. And I may have to do a video on this so you guys understand what I'm talking about. But we put 2 different products, listed it as a category: bloodroot salve. One was by Zenith, one was by Best. And I put in parentheses as a category in that. And then when I went into quick scan to scan her to find out which one, because she muscle tested, but she couldn't get an answer. I muscle tested too, and it wasn't coming back through clear. So I said, you know what? I know exactly what to do. Let's put these in the scanner under your profile, and we're only going to pick this category for it to analyze. And which one ever comes up is the one we're going to order. So we scanned her, and it was the Zenith Labs, I think, that pulled up. And I said, okay, that's the one for you. Let's get it. So, and had we chosen that and neither one of them pulled up, I think that that would have been a telltale sign too that maybe neither one of those products would have been good. So, just giving you a tip there that even if you don't know what you should take, go ahead and add it to your scanner, do a quick scan on yourself, and see what pulls up. And then you'll know what
That's
to buy.
powerful.
Yeah. So, that just a little tip. Sorry. Go ahead if anybody else has any testimonials. Go ahead. Did you have one, babe?
I was just going to share about my fever blister.
Okay.
I've got one I'll share with everybody. This is Scott, Tammy's better half. uh, I have been for years. I get real stressed, and well, when I do get really super stressed, I break out with these little fever blisters on my lip. And I've tried topical things before, and they, some of them work, some of them don't. And they it seems to last for weeks. I mean, have ugly lips for weeks. And this last time I got a little stressed, and sure enough one comes up, and so I thought I'm going to try something different. So I went into the Cephis and ran on the playlist a herpes thing, and within a day it cleared up, and it was just so impressive. And I mean, of course, I still had a little bit of the skin irritation there, but the swelling of it and the everything else was gone. So
Wow.
pretty powerful. Yeah.
Wow. Oh my gosh.
And this is coming from a man that, you know, his wife has all the tools, but sometimes he doesn't rely on it, and he did it by himself. And I'm just so proud of him because I'm like,
Oh my.
Good job, Scott.
right. He did it without me even saying anything. He did it all on his own. I'm like, "Ooh, you getting into
Wow.
the scanner, aren't you?"
Wow. That is exciting.
It is exciting. So,
I've been making a list for my blood pressure that I do before I take my blood pressure.
yeah,
So I take it in the morning and the evening. And it's been bringing my blood pressure into normal ranges. When I don't do it, it's higher. It doesn't matter if I've eaten the same things, if it's whatever. It's phenomenal. So I'm hoping that I can carry that into the doctor's office with me on Friday.
there you
Oh,
go.
excellent.
Yeah.
Run it when I'm in the waiting room so that my blood pressure will be normal.
There you go. Yeah. And put peace and tranquility in there.
Oh, it's in there.
Good. Oh, thank you, Dr. Janine. She's going to put the video in Team Resonance. So that's awesome. Thank you so very much. Any other testimonials? We got about let's say about 6 minutes here.
Can I just ask one more question? Sorry.
Yes.
So when you're playing the harmonic playlist back to yourselves, you are wearing the bone conducting headsets as well every time.
Yep.
So your daughter did that nicely for you, Dr. Janine. Did she wear the bone conducting when
No, she did
No.
not. Night. So when she listens to them on her own, I have her wear headphones, but I just played it out loud, and she still got enough for it to work.
Okay, beautiful. Thank you so much.
Mm-hmm.
Dr. Darrell,
That
I am
brings me
wondering.
to something, and some people might not agree, but I try to make things as simple as possible for people because I feel like if they're going to do it, they're going to get more benefit than if they're not going to do it.
There
So
you
I
go.
give them the optimal way to do it. But if that doesn't necessarily work, you might still get 80% or 90%, which is a whole lot better than nothing.
Exactly.
Yeah, I was
That's
just going
my
to say, 'cause
philosophy too.
yeah, I have a son that I'm struggling with, and I'd love to get that playlist and send him for drinking far too much, and he would never wear those. But I could get him to listen to it on his phone. So, like you say, better than nothing, something good at least. Yeah,
Yes.
thank you.
And the other thing that I did with her is I ran the inner voice and got those tones that she needed. And then when you go into Cephi playlists, at the very bottom, it'll say inner voice, and you can put those tones in the playlist as well.
There you go.
And then they don't even have to listen. You can just broadcast it.
Yeah.
Right. And so, what did you get her to say for her inner voice? Did she, or did you just record it while she was
I tell her
talking?
to start with her name, and then I just prompt her to talk about anything, because I feel like if you don't prompt people, they just freeze up.
Yeah.
And so I tell them it doesn't really matter what you talk about. So
Yeah.
we just pick something that they're going to talk about. And I always tell them to start with I am, your name, and then tell me blah, 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 whatever it is.
Yeah. So she would have said how she was a bit nervous about going for her course.
So she doesn't have to talk about specifically what she's nervous about. We just talked.
They just talk. Okay, brilliant. Thank you.
Awesome.
Really quickly, and when I do it, I tell people to start with their name, and then people who don't know what to say, tell them to start with their name, and they just count until we tell them to stop.
There you go.
There's a
Normally we get until about 15.
do ABCs, so you can also do that. Some people will read Bible scriptures or read something from a magazine, or I mean, just anything. Like Dr. Janine said, at least something. Get them to say something. And even if they only say one or two words, you still have captured something. Just be quiet until it's done. It's still okay. It's still gonna be effective.
Fantastic. Thank you so much. This is
I just want to share. one of the little boys that I was taking care of for a while, I do homeoprophylaxis with him, but his mom finally bought a scanner, so I don't get to listen to him anymore. But I used to get his little voice clips every morning. He talked about baseball, and his best friend was coming over, and it's like I got to hear his adventures every single day. And when he stopped calling in, I just really missed hearing from him. So it's just really fun when you get people on these, these weekly subscriptions, to give them the inner voice until they get to the place that they're ready to have their own technology so they can do it for themselves.
Yeah. Yeah, that's something that I do, Dr. Sheila, is I have a lady that she actually does monthly inner voices with me just because when she sends me a voice recording, I do her report, send it to her, and then I voice record me speaking back to her. And she goes, it's like our daily therapy session, and I just love it. And I'm like, okay, whatever works for you.
It is. It just, I mean, I've noticed that as well. Yeah.
Yeah. People love it.
They
So
do.
yeah, really push that inner voice because you're going to help so many people with it. Okay,
Yeah.
guys, it's 7:28. The Solex call starts at 7:30, or in 2 minutes. So I just want to thank each and every one of you for being here. Thank you for taking the time out. Next week, if you want to invite people and if you want to volunteer to share some of your stories, please come on and share, because we're using this call to help bring the masses in and show them what this technology is about. So thank you all for being here. And if you're new and you came on, without an invitation, please reach out to the person that invited you here, or reach out to one of us here on this call. We will be happy to help you. So thank you all, and we'll see you next week.
Yay. Good night, everyone.
Good night.